and old Golddust comes by. God damn it, Dustin Rhodes. Now, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I loved his work. I loved his promos. I loved everything about him. I loved the gimmick. And Golddust, one of my favorite guys to work with from my days. I think I had a match or two with him down at USWA. But, man, we worked some programs in WCW at World Championship Wrestling. And I tell you what, we worked pretty snug with each other. And we laid our shit in. And we had some bust-ass matches. I think we had one at Halloween Havoc. It was about around 92 or something like that. And I remember one time, no, it might have been 91, because in 92 we was at the War Games match. And it was me and a bunch of other guys, and I was bleeding like a motherfucker, man. I hit a gusher, and me and Dustin did something, and I was on top of him, or he was on top of me, beating the shit out of each other, and all of a sudden he looks at me right in the middle of the match, right in the middle of War Games. He goes, "God damn, brother, good color." Meaning I was bleeding like a motherfucker. So I just said thanks, and we kept beating the shit out of each other. And so I got a lot of fond memories of working with Dustin Rhodes, with Golddust. And, you know, when I came to WWF back in the day, I just came in as a ringmaster. Now, Golddust at the time was already in WWF, and this was back when WWF was pushing his ass, and he was hot. I mean, this is when they were doing the kind of, you know, the over-the-top Golddust. And he had a ton of steam on him, mister. He had some heat. And he was working on top every single night with Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid. And they were having some killer matches. Of course, you know, Shawn Michaels can go with the best of anybody in the ring. And Dustin could work his ass off like a sumbitch. So they were having these killer matches. I was on about mid-card, and I'd already taken a shower and waiting on Dustin because we traveled together. And then for some reason, you know, WWF at the time was catching a lot of flack from the organizations about the character of Golddust, and they just kind of chopped his legs out from underneath him and stopped pushing him and stopped doing all the skits and the videos and the vignettes that he was doing, and he just kind of fell by the wayside, and then he left for a while, and finally he's back now. But I remember the days when he was there, and he was absolutely on fire, and those guys were kicking ass in the ring and having some bust-ass matches. And I'm glad to see Dustin doing so well now. I mean, I passed by him in the hallway the other day, and I looked at him. He had veins in his arms. I said, "Dude, you're in the best shape I've ever seen you." I was watching the Royal Rumble, and I commented. I said, "Dude, you're moving around better than you ever have moved around." And he said, "Thanks, man." And anyway, you know, I talked to Cody Rhodes there for a little bit as well. I don't know Cody too well, but I talked to him. He's kicking ass. But, man, I tell you what, that damn Dustin Rhodes has really lit it up